Hi. Um, just recapping the semester here. Just looking over some things that really stuck out to me. Semester, I feel, or the second half of the semester, I guess I should say. One thing that really stuck out to me was it's how much there actually is to running a business, especially a large one, and how much one decision can impact so much. Going through and doing my team project, my group's doing it on Keurig. They made a long-term decision when they made Keurig 2.0, their brewing system. They could only brew beverages that are manufactured by them themselves and companies that had specific contracts with. Um, all these other people that made their cups that could go in the Keurig, they couldn't be brewed anymore, and this angered a lot of customers. And Keurig, at first, when they made the decision, thought it would be a great idea because people would have to buy their product and they can make more money. But they didn't take into account how their company would be viewed, and it began to be viewed as a cash grabbing company, somebody that was just for after more profits, and they didn't take into account how their customers might view them after the decision. So that really hit me as you need to make sure you pay attention to how much each decision affects how you're viewed and how your company will have success moving forward beyond just the near future. One of the articles I really liked that was also on the test was the Pope's 15 leadership diseases. Just highlight a couple of them that I think I might be susceptible to that I realized because of going through the class and reading the article. The first one would be the disease of over planning and over functionalism. When I go to attack a work day or a day in general, I seem to always plan out everything I have, everything I want to do, including free time. Just kind of plan everything out, and I never account for any of those times where I'm doing work, but I take a break. I always just like assume I'm gonna work for like 8 hours straight, and then obviously nobody ever can do that. You need to take a couple breaks. So I need to realize that when I'm planning, especially as I move forward in my business world and possibly start delegating tasks to others, not to overload them, and assume and know they're going to take breaks and going to have to take breaks, and not overloading them with responsibilities and tasks. Another one that I see myself susceptible to is idolizing superiors. I recently just took an internship at an electrical supply company here in town, and right now, until the summer, I'm just working in the warehouse, just learning all the products because there's so much in the electrical industry. And my actual internship will start in the summer. But I see myself already idolizing those who have gone through the program and gone um, through that warehouse phase. Where, as a business student, obviously not many. You're not going to find many business students who want to work in a warehouse and be in that environment. But it's just something you have to do to get to know all the products and all the part numbers and things like that. So I see myself idolizing those ahead of me, and that already seems to be a problem for me that I had to watch out for because even once I get into the office, I'm going to idolize those who are ahead of me and have higher responsibilities there. So I just have to watch out for that as I move forward. Also, at my new internship, I guess you just call it a job right now, I was working in the warehouse. It really made me think about some of the things we talked about in class. One of them was when we learned about how people are motivated and like why they work, whether it be extrinsically, intrinsically, for just for a paycheck or because they really want to be there. Being in a warehouse, you get a lot of different personalities. Some people who are just there and they just want to be all workhorses, and that's just what they want to do with their life, and they just work hard for their money. And there's some people you can tell they're there because, frankly, not much else has worked out for them, and they think everybody's out to get them, and they're always complaining. So as I sit there and I think, how in the world, as a businessman, do you get these people to mold and mesh together when it seems like some of these people, all they do is complain and they're not very good workers? So I sit there and think, how do you make them good workers? Well, some people you just can't mold into good workers. So as I realized that, um, you need to, through the interview process, you need to see what makes people click, what motivates them. Are they there just to collect a paycheck? Are they there because they have to, or are they interviewing for a position because they really want to work somewhere? They want to be a part of your organization and make it a better one. So I've really found that as I move forward in my business career, that the key to good business is hiring good employees, no matter what level of the company they're at. Next, I'd like to highlight teamwork. We also had a big chapter on that. Working with lower level employees within an organization, although probably one of the most important with quickly getting products out to customers, sometimes these people are prone to not working well in teams. When I got there, I realized there wasn't really a real defined roles within the guys that were there. Some said they were delivery drivers, some said they were part of receiving, some said they were part of purchasing, but really they kind of all mold together. And some days when some people wanted to drive, but others wanted to drive, there's conflicts and things like that. So I really decided that if I've ever in charge of lower level employees need to have a defined role because these people seem to be more prone to conflict, and a defined role really helps keep people in their place and tell them what they are responsible for and what they're not responsible for. And also, lower level employees need more of a watchdog personality over them by a manager. As you get higher up, these people have obviously been successful. And they know what it takes to be successful. At the lower level, these people might not, and therefore they might need a manager to be watching over them a little bit more heavily to motivate them. I know that would work in my current situation if they had a little bit more watchfulness over them, because every time a manager does walk in, they all get to work a lot quicker than they were before when they weren't in. Um, Also, one more thing I'd like to highlight is conflict. I think personally, from what I've seen, I think it's amazing how much conflict there is or isn't, depending on the responsibility of the work and the level of the employees within the organization. I spent a little bit of time in the office at my current place or at my current place of employment, although not a ton. But it seems like in there, it's a lot of guys and girls that really like to work with each other and work really well together. Not to say they don't have disagreements or, little conflicts in there, but there's not near as much as there is in the warehouse. Um, I think the lower level employees and lower level of responsibility might correlate with how much conflict is going on. They really just argue about almost everything and complain a lot. So that's one thing I guess I found with conflict that I can correlate to the classes. I think that I've noticed that the lower level of the employees, the more conflict there might be. Now, in a massive corporation, that might be different because there's um, so many big decisions to be made at the top. There may be more conflict at the top and less at the bottom. But just from what I've seen in my personal experience lately, is I think there seems to be more conflict in the lower levels of a business.